Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I am getting things all set up here. Welcome. If you're joining me on Facebook, it's good to have you with me on this Friday, the 13th. So far, everything has gone according to plan, not without its hiccups and trying to figure things out. If you've ever tried to go live uh, and set up everything, um, you'll know that it's not easy sometimes, but we are here and we are ready to go. At least I am. Actually, there is no we, it's just me. So I hope everybody's doing great today. Let's go ahead and get started on this Fridays on Excellence. Welcome to episode 2 of the Fridays on Excellence show, where we are becoming the fullest expression of our unique God given design. My name is Scott Kokenauer. I'll be your host. If you resonate with any of these episodes when we're talking about excellence and you'd like to um, discuss the possibility of sponsoring, just send me an email, coach@servingstrong.com, and I'll be glad to talk with you about possibilities. In this episode and in every episode, we'll be covering 3 coaching questions that you can ask yourself that will drive you deep into yourself as you contemplate a life of excellence, 2 pillars of excellence, which is the teaching portion, and 1 actionable takeaway for you to start using the minute the live session is over. Let's get started, shall we? All right. So here are your 3 questions. Number 1, when was the last time you were totally in the moment? Think about that a minute. When was the last time you were totally and completely in the moment, where you noticed everything that was going on? If you're a basketball player, it's like you see the whole court. Maybe you were doing something that you were just designed to do, and it brought out this everything is right with the world kind of feeling. When was the last time you were totally in the moment? Secondly, how do you refresh? How do you refresh? How do you get back the energy that you expended? How do you refresh? And then thirdly, why do you think you were born? Why do you think you were born? You ever think about that? My guess is if you're under 35, you probably have never, most likely have never asked that question. If you're over 35 and the older you get, the more you ask that question. Take it from me. Why in the world was I born? So those are your 3 questions. What you want to do is let these questions get you thinking. Pick 1 or 2, maybe all of them, and write them on a 3x5 card. Keep them with you all week long. Contemplate, meditate, and start noticing a deeper thing that's going on in your life that you've never noticed before. We get so busy going forward and trying to accomplish things that we have no time to stop and reflect. So I encourage you, use these questions to stop and reflect. And let's move on now to the pillars of excellence. Here's your first pillar. The 6 systems of excellence are like the systems in your body. The 6 systems of excellence are like the systems in your body. Now, let's talk about what are the systems that function in our body. There are 11, maybe 12, depending on whether you break one of these out or not. But they are your circulatory or cardiovascular system, which keeps the body temperature in a safe range. You have a digestive system, which eliminates waste from the body, and endocrine system. I'm not a doctor, so if I mispronounce something, you'll understand. This system influences the function of the body using hormones. The integumentary or exocrine system. This is the skin, the hair, the nails, the sweat, and other glands. And then we have the immune system. We hear a lot about that in this current situation with COVID 19. This defends the body against pathogens that may harm the body. Muscular system. This is the system that enables the body to move using muscles. The nervous system collects and processes information from the senses through nerves and the brain and tells the muscles to contract to cause physical actions. If I move my hand and all my fingers, that's the nervous system working. The renal system or urinary system is where the kidneys filter blood to produce urine to get rid of waste. Pretty cool, huh? Reproductive system is the system that is required for the production of offspring. The respiratory system brings air into and out of the lungs to absorb oxygen and remove carbon dioxide. And finally, the skeletal system. These are the bones that maintain the structure of the body and its organs. Now, here's the thing about these organs in the body: when one system goes bad, the other systems are impacted. This is the epitome of interconnectedness. Some of you have experienced a digestive system that um, is not working for whatever reason, and how uncomfortable that can be, and how that affects your nerves and your respiratory system. If we ever get scared, our respiratory system changes. And when our respiratory changes, then our muscular system changes. If we're tired, our immune system goes down. When our immune system goes down, we catch some kind of um, e- external body or a germ or a virus. And when that virus gets a hold of us, then our temperature goes up. So you can see that everything is interconnected. Now, even though they are interconnected, they are all separate systems. They're all separate systems. The muscular system cannot do what the nervous system does. The renal or urinary tract system cannot do what the digestive system does, and so on. So, if you're asking the muscular system to do something that requires a nervous system thing, you're going to be disappointed. So even though they are separate, they are still interconnected in the body. Now, when talking about excellence, there are 6 systems, and these 6 systems will become the the agenda, the cycle of every Friday on excellence. Let me first throw out the 6. All right. So there's spiritual, there is relational, there's financial, emotional, physical, and vocational. Those are the 6 systems. Pretty much everything that you will face or uh, think through and experience can be put in one or more of these 6 systems. Now, you might be thinking, what about my mental? If I were reading a book to develop my mind, well, I would put that in emotional. So technically, it would be emotional slash mental. But basically, in my experience, everything that you face, everything that I face, as we process life, and in particular, as we pursue the fullest expression of our unique God given design in excellence, these are the 6 systems that we need to focus on. Now, last episode, I included a download to help guide you into your own definition of excellence in each of these systems. And you can download that for free without giving me your email. It's truly free. And all you need to do is go to servingstrong.com/Friday, go to the show notes and look for the PDF download entitled Six Life Areas of Excellence. So that's what we did last time. We said, go ahead and download this thing. It's got the 6 systems listed there and a few prompting coaching questions for you to develop a definition of what excellence means for you in each of these systems. So here are my thoughts, some of my thoughts on how excellence looks for each of the 6 systems. So spiritual, let's go back up here to spiritual. Spiritual excellence is being in communion with the one who designed you. It means knowing your purpose and being aligned with the bigger picture of life. When you are excellent spiritually, you are at peace with who you are and at peace with the bigger picture that's going on. You have a sense, or at least you are comfortable with the purpose that you understand about your life. And this comes through a communion, a relationship with the one who designed you. That is spiritual excellence in my book. Secondly, relational excellence. This is having a few close friends who will come to your aid, no questions asked, at 2 a.m. if you need them. A good friend of mine, Doug Boquist, once said that we are blessed when we know who our pallbearers will be. These are the people closest to us, where we have a deep and abiding relationship with. You are excellent relationally when you have a few close friends that if you're going through something and you call them when it's inconvenient and they come to your aid, no questions asked, you have done what is necessary to have relational excellence. Third, financial excellence. And we could go into a lot of different things, but there's one word that will describe financial excellence, and that is freedom. Financial excellence is freedom. Freedom means different things to different people, but it usually includes being debt free, having a buffer fund or safety fund, and a growing retirement fund with the ability to give to needs as they are needed. I'm going to repeat that. Financial excellence is freedom. Freedom means being debt free, having a buffer or safety fund in place, and a growing retirement fund with the ability to give to needs as they arise. Financial freedom. Let's move to the next one. Emotional excellence. Think about this. When we talk about emotional excellence in the realm of the journey of excellence or the art of excellence, what we're talking about here primarily has to do with emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence, if you were to look up emotional intelligence and you basically say, and you Google what are the elements of emotional intelligence, here's the basic thing that you will get: being self-aware, being self-regulated, having internal motivation, being empathetic, and being skilled socially. Now, I know a couple of people who are much more versed in emotional intelligence and how to explain it so much better than me. And I hope to have some guests on this show as it progresses. But let's look at those 5 parts of emotional intelligence. Self aware is being aware of how certain situations impact you, how they affect your emotions. We all know what it's like to be with someone who is not self aware because that usually means that they explode out of nowhere. And sometimes their explosion is out of proportion to what happened to them. That's because they weren't aware of themselves. Being self aware is being emotionally intelligent, which is emotional excellence. Self regulated, that means regulating yourself, recognizing, man, I'm about to get really angry here, but regulating yourself. Internally motivated, being able to um, do things that are right without having to be told. Empathetic, that is being aware of others' emotions and empathizing with the fact that every one of us, everyone that you cross eyes, that you connect with eye to eye, has a story, has a background, has experiences, some of them good, some of them bad. And being empathetic means respecting that difference. And then finally, socially skilled, being able to carry your own and your own presence when you're interacting with other people. There's so much more to go into that, and in fact there's so much more to go into all six of these systems, and I hope to have some experts join me in the coming episodes. Let's move on to physical excellence. This is being physically fit and healthy. My doctor helped me understand that, look, if you don't think about it, if it doesn't keep reminding you, then you're not sick. If if I had a sore elbow and I went to grab something and that elbow, the pain just radiated through my arm, then it's reminding me that I've got something wrong with my elbow. But lately, I haven't felt that pain, and therefore I haven't thought about it, and therefore it's likely not a problem. So the absence of physical pain is a sign of physical excellence. Um, so, what is physically fit? What is healthy? There are several opinions about that, but I'll leave it at that for you. Being physically fit, being healthy, uh, is physical excellence. Vocational excellence, this is the last system. I'm going to share with you a formula that is a part of the world of excellence, and that is 3P80. 3P80. Here's how that breaks down. First of all, the three P's: passion, personality, and proficiency. Those are the three P's. Now, 3P80. What's the 80 stand for? The 80 stands for spending 80% of your working hours engaged in activities, tasks, responsibilities that align with who you are as far as your passion, personality, and proficiency. 80%. Why not 100%? Because there's a part of every day, every job that we don't like. And we just have to deal with the things that we don't like doing. And they're misaligned. For instance, you may really get satisfaction by data entry because your personality is that you're an introvert and you are more methodically paced. But part of your job also means you have to make cold calls in sales. So you have to reach out and talk to people, and it's uncomfortable for you. But that's only 20% of your working hours. Not everyone is here. Not everyone is at total excellence on any of the six systems. But the journey, remember what we said last time in the last episode, it's a process of becoming, not getting to a point where we have arrived. It's the becoming of our fullest expression of our unique God given design. It's not, there's no finish line. We will never reach total excellence in this life, but we can certainly get closer than we are today. So, what does this have to do with the body functions? It's just like the body systems, the excellence systems are interconnected, they're interrelated. When one goes bad, the others suffer. As each system goes well, the other systems go well. Here's an example. If you're strapped with debt, when you go to work, are you going to be totally in the moment when you're at work? You're not, because in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I've got to take care of this debt. In fact, it might increase your stress level at your vocation because you're afraid you'll lose that job and not be able to pay that debt back. If you're not physically feeling well, you may be more irritable, which is the emotional. So it's very important to see that the excellence systems are like the systems in your body. The second pillar for today is that the spiritual system is like the central nervous system. So this episode we are talking about the spiritual excellence in general. Uh, I just went through the six systems, but let's zero in on spiritual excellence. So the spiritual system is a lot like the central nervous system. Central to all the body systems is the central nervous system. It's an organ system that coordinates your voluntary and involuntary actions and responses by transmitting signals between different parts of our bodies. The primary function of the nervous system is to coordinate and control the various body functions. Coordinate and control. Two words I want to focus on. First of all, coordinate means bring the different elements of a complex activity or organization into a relationship that will ensure efficiency or harmony. That's the coordinating part of the central nervous system. Control is to exercise restraint or direction over, to dominate, to command, to hold in check or curb. For example, the car is difficult to control at high speeds. You've heard of a bit in the mouth of a horse controls the horse. Back up in the emotional excellence when we were talking about self regulation. That's the ability to control one's emotions. All this takes place in the central nervous system. So, which of the six systems do you think acts like the central nervous system? It's the spiritual system. Now, listen, we are pre wired for purpose. We fit best into the bigger picture. That's why it's so much more satisfying to be a part of something bigger than yourself, because that's how we were pre wired, designed. As we age, we begin to think about questions like, what's my life all about? Why do I exist? What is it all about anyway? That's because eventually we all start to face our own mortality. When it comes right down to it, we are all finite. And looking at our finiteness makes us each philosophers. Some of us have a theory that we just melt into nothingness. Others believe that there is a heaven and a hell. It is our spiritual system that coordinates and controls the other five systems. My relational system will be impacted depending on if spiritually I believe everyone has the best of intentions, or if I believe there are evil people and good people. That is going to depend, that's going to impact my relational system. My financial system is impacted depending on my spirituality. I believe it's all, if I believe it's all mine, or if I'm just a steward of all my designer has given me. That that perspective spiritually has an impact on my financial excellence. My emotional system is impacted as well. My physical system is impacted as well. And my vocational system will also be impacted based on my spiritual connection, my spiritual excellence. So, what I need you to do, either right now as we talk or after you get off this live session, this is not the takeaway, but this is an exercise I'd strongly encourage you to do. Take a piece of paper, grab a pen or a pencil, draw a circle about 1 inch in diameter around the center of the paper. In the center of the paper, a 1 inch diameter circle. Draw 5 1 inch circles of similar size around that center circle. So you're going to have one in the center and you're going to have 5 circles around that center. Now draw a line from each circle to the center circle. That center circle represents your spiritual system in your journey of excellence. All of the other circles have to do with the other 5 systems: relational, financial, emotional, physical, vocational. This illustrates the systems of excellence. When, or I should say, to the extent that my spiritual system is excellent, all of the other systems are excellent. To the extent that my spiritual system is not excellent, all of the other 5 systems is not as excellent as they could be. So those are the 2 pillars of content. I want to move now to the takeaway segment before we leave. So with the 3 coaching questions and the 2 pillars on excellence content today, here's your actionable takeaway. Analyze the impact. Analyze the impact. What in the world does that mean? All right. So here's the application. What you're going to do is create an understanding of how interrelated the 6 systems of excellence are to each other. I have another download that I'm going to be putting on servingstrong.com/Friday in the show notes down below. But this is what it looks like. You're going to download this document. It's called System Impact. It's a matrix. And you ask yourself the top question, which is, when this system is healthy, then you complete the answer to the other question, which you'll see down the left side. It says, it looks like this. For example, when my relational system is healthy, spiritually, I am feeling good about my life. That's just an example. So every box. So if you're listening to this in the podcast, what this document looks like is you've got a series of boxes, and there are 6 columns: spiritual, relational, financial, emotional, physical, and vocational. And then down the left, there are 6 rows, and they all have those 6 as well, those 6 systems. So now you can go down, say, to the financial system and go across to the emotional system, and you'll have a box that says, when I am emotionally healthy, my financial system is impacted. And you write that phrase in that box. It's not so much what you put in particular, but it's the exercise that is important. It's understanding that every system has an impact on the other systems. And in particular, your spiritual system is central. Now, other systems will impact your spiritual system as well, but I would say that your spiritual system is it's atomic system. It's the one that has the greatest impact on the greatest number of the systems. So that's your takeaway. Um, Now, before you go, I want to remind you about the Zoe booklet. It's a high level overview of the pursuit of your own zone of excellence. That's what ZOE means. You can find it on Amazon by searching Zoe or Zoe, depending on how you pronounce it. Your Zone of Excellence. Zoe, Your Zone of Excellence. You'll find it on Amazon. You can watch. You can get it in Kindle or paperback. I also want to let you know that I have opened up my workspace on the art of excellence to the public. I'm inviting you to watch as I build the guts of the upcoming book entitled Art of Excellence. You are free to share your thoughts and comments on what you see because I don't want it to just be my book. I want it to be a collaborative effort with you. So just go to www.bit.ly / the art of excellence. And that has to be all lowercase for it to work. All right. So that wraps up episode 2 on the Fridays on Excellence show, where we are becoming the fullest expression of our unique God given design. I'm Scott Kokenauer, founder and owner of servingstrong.com, and I am really pleased that even though I can't see you, I'm glad that you joined me on this journey today. This episode has been recorded and it will be available as a podcast, blog post, and on video. And I'm also putting together a course online that will help you integrate this into your life. Visit servingstrong.com/Friday for all the details. Tell your friends, tell your colleagues. Every Friday, we cover 3 coaching questions, 2 pillars of excellence content, 1 takeaway, 0 cost to you. I'll see you next Friday at noon Eastern.